Beloved star, welcome. Welcome to Immortal Starlight Pod, episode 32. And this one, I'm going to introduce to you the Elven Galactic Light Body teachings. I wanted to share these now because with this inception, this beginning of what in the Elven cycles of light is the Jasmine Moon, there is this sentience that the reality we have been descending, that we have been bringing throughout this year since the December solstice, of this taking over of the keys of power to physical reality, that the immortal starlight of love is now what has that predominant creational power to create within the physical entirely, 100%. It is given over. And that is what has occurred at the heart of our timeline, at the heart of this year. Also a year of angels, literally. And we find now that our angelic creation is that which flourishes while everything else doesn't work, quite spectacularly doesn't work. And there may be an observation, and has been no doubt within your reality of, for some time, with this, perhaps expectations for this year of how things would unfold, and finding that there are things which you may have expected to come into being which simply receive no affirmation, no sustenance, no go ahead, that there is no energy there for them, quite beyond expectation. And it's so complete, that sort of non-response energetically, because of that handover of the keys of the power. It is only those creations of our immortal starlight, of our angelic nature, that now receive that code sequencing of the elemental becoming of physical reality. And so we look to ourselves all over again. We are in rediscovery, realignment, even within the field of benevolent intention, of beautiful intention, of hopes and dreams, that even within the field of that which is cherished and aglow, that we are in a exploration and a discovery of that which is truly of our angelical and our first light. And that will now, with the timeline of this year, be revealing itself, more precision, more clarity, and more actuality of that forming itself into existence. And through the solstice we have just been through, there was that completion of the beam of the great central sun, the angelical concordance of worlds, that absolute alignment with the golden diamond white starlight of the divine plan, of the divine intelligence, of the part of ourselves that resounds in accordance with that always and completely, and that is a fractal of that expression. So the I am presence, the crystalline Christ light of the one who you are, that is part of that angelical concordance of worlds, carrying the light seeds of your home world to this earth. It is that one, if you like, that has been beamed so deeply and completely through the heart, and through the sun star of the heart that resonates in alignment through the sun, the star of our solar system, through the great central sun, to the great central sun, and that angelical concordance of worlds, that golden hologram, if you like, through those dimensions, that dimensionality of the golden diamond light of source is completed unto the heart, and we are able to feel and think ourselves so directly as that part of God's light, source light, and of that divine plan, really deeply in alignment, aligned through all the layers of our being, heart consciousness here, with that which dreams and is and builds for and as this heart of all that is. And it's a beautiful sensation. So much other agenda, falling away from within ourselves, able with a mirror of quite some clarity, as though there is a stilling point, able to bear witness to the impulses that might have carried us into them, other motivations other than that which is aligned with that divine plan of the heart of all that is, that source light, that get driven or motivated or propelled by those just dissolving out their impetus, having less and less and little to no impetus to carry or involve us. So this does feel like a moment of exploration and discovery now of this self unwound so deeply and completely from all of that. So it was amazing to be with family in Sicily last week, as I shared in the last pod, because I got to see many of the impulses of my deepest conditionings and movements away from source, away from love, as we do when we're in that family environment so often. Got to witness those old propulsions where, as a child, to avoid pain, I created ways of being that would help to carry me away from that experience of pain or suffering. And instead of following through with those propulsions, those movements, to gain power or safety or light or love in a way that was fragmentary, that fragmented my core being, instead to stay wholly present and to feel what it means to be that in truth, in wholeness, power, love, and light, that angelic heart. And it was a beautiful field, a very potent field to really be remembering that and witnessing myself within. And at this juncture, what I would love to share is the Elven Galactic Light Body teachings, because this golden sun star, this one, this I am Christ-like presence in alignment with the heart of all that is a body, a physical body of light that is deeply and completely birthing itself. And within that, we have a very different physical experience. And the Elven remember this way, have walked the earth this way of being in that first, that elder light, in that greater harmonic, interdimensional, through worlds in accordance with that great central sun, that heart of all that is, source light. And know what it is to blossom literally in our physical body, in our physicality, at this level of immortal starlight, to walk the earth as these ones. And there is a very specific configuration to our ascended body of light. And I'm aware there are many teachings on the ascended body of light, the galactic body of light, in this age, and some of these will resonate with others you may have come across, and some may be uniquely nuanced. As you listen, as you hear this, what I would request is, I feel very deeply that while this is, if you like, a systematic understanding of our light body and the formation of our physical body here and now, I don't feel it as a system, and have no wish to gift a system, as it were, but rather to point to organic light structures that, just like the flowers, the trees, that are existent within the organic and natural blossoming of our beings here, and that ultimately they are those which transduce and communicate that unique and source light of the one who you are, which is the flowering, the blossoming of a unique light body brought from your home world, star-coded as the one who you are, star-seeding that here. And if you like, this understanding underpins that potentiality, supports that potentiality. So it becomes, if you like, while I'll present an understanding, in a sense, even as it presents, its intention is to become translucent, become transparent to your pure source light and presence. And be, even beyond that, even beyond becoming transparent or translucent, to vanish finally in the moment when you feel your own full diamond light body, your star coding of your home world, your expression as light in form here arriving, that it sort of irradiates, floods, and makes disappear the light architecture that I will describe now. But that this understanding facilitates deepens and facilitates the possibility of the arrival, the full arrival of who you are here and now. For we are unlocking from systems. We're unlocking from structures in this way. We are really landing simply and deeply and completely as who we are in this world. That is the great unlocking. And we are each that unique and unutterably beautiful flowering of source, known only ultimately unto ourselves to bring through. So in a sense, no teacher can reflect that to you, no seer, no channel, as completely as it is truly held and known within you. So the joy of the dawn is to come to trust this serenity so wholly and completely, this sovereign knowing once more. So a long intro to this, but I did want to, it's the first time I've shared it more publicly. I share it obviously when I teach more deeply, but in the podcast, this is the first time I've shared these teachings, and I wanted to situate it quite carefully so you understand my understanding of presenting this and sharing it. So as you listen, what I would say is, as it flows through, is simply to not to listen very lightly, to listen from your core being. And as I describe the energy centers, just feel which ones are significant for you, which ones accord and light up with your home light, bring you into that presencing of who you are and what is most deeply important to you in this now, that which is that part of that great divine plan of the dawn in unfoldment, breath by breath. So not needing to feel that the system itself is important to fix your attention to. However, if you find yourself drinking it all in as kind of a remembering of what you already knew, of what feels very sovereign to you, then absolutely. So raising aloft, if you're watching the video, raising aloft, I am the mandala of the silver wheel. So these codes, while being beautiful ascension wisdom teachings that are written in the book Silver Wheel, the Lost Teachings of the Disc in book, so that's a linear form, chapter by chapter, and here you see it as the mandala of glyphs, as a circle. So different forms and ways that these light codes manifest and can be received and experienced, absorbed. They can also be experienced as the ascended body of light, the codes on the vertical axis of our ascended body of light and our energy centers that have been known as chakras in this recent age, meaning those wheels of light, literally vortexes, wheels of light, transducing light information from one level of reality to another, especially at the interface where we transduce light and those plasma light flows through to becoming the physical form and body that we see here and now. So literally delivering the codes for blood, bones, breath, all of this to come through. So when we ignite these higher dimensional energetic vortices, we are really igniting that possibility of our body regenerating itself very fully from the source diamond light of who we truly are. Our physical appearance changes. And, our skin becomes a glow in a different way. Our eyes light up in a different way. We physically change. Our body shapes change. All sorts of alterations that take place when we awaken these higher dimensional energetic vortices of light. Now, by the Elven, they're known not as chakras or as energy centers particularly, but as starflowers. And that is because their design is dreamt within the heart of creation, first and foremost in that great music, vibrational, angelical song of creation, of all that is, of the celestial light, pure celestial light, song, tones, precipitating down through, blossoming through worlds, galaxies, star systems of light through to the physical universe. Again, star systems, galaxies, our solar system. But what is really beautiful is that in our galaxy, what the Elven teach is that those codes, particularly each one of these, have flowed through particular star systems where their full architectural evolvement, if you like, their full flowering or blossoming, transducing through so that the pure celestial tones actually become the physical reality. That's the first layering of that potentiality within the higher densities of light in the stars, in the galaxy. And it's there that the light codes that we start to recognize as these forms are, if you like, created, are dreamt into being by the star elders, as then what can become the physical DNA and information for the full physical Earth existence. So these Elven Galactic starflowers, as I have called and known them, the reason they are called that is because they do have a creational what would be the word? Provenance in the star realms, though that is not where ultimately they derive from. It is a pure expression of the diamond source light in the angelical radiance of that first and that elder light. That this body, this beingness is dreamt. So as we flow around, another thing I'd love to say just before introducing them individually, and I will flow around fairly swiftly, that's part of my intention, just glancing at the time, just to give a swift introduction, because I could go so deeply into these, but I just would love in this pod to introduce it in case at this moment it's helpful for you, because we are stepping over now into this very physical experience, and this might give you a really beautiful location point for this next wave of our ascension. So what I'd love to say is, though, this is happening all the time. It's a natural process. These codes, excuse me, I'll just take a drink of water. A huge wave of information coming through my body just then, as I felt that these are the dormant diamond light codes within Earth, within us. They are blossoming for the dawn through the wave, the cosmic pulse of light that is coming from the great central sun for our ascension, and it's wave upon wave through our sun, our star, to Earth, through the core of Earth. And she has been transfiguring and transfiguring, returning into this diamond light structure of her ascended body of light. And this immortal starlight reality, all of the stargates of her ancient body of light awakening once more. And so these star flowers, as the energy centers are seen as a more, rather than calling it simply an energy center or a chakra, which is slightly more abstract, the flower links into the sense of the organic, of a very vast, gentle, elemental, natural blossoming, non-technological, as it were, which, while the pure light codes, there is very much an energy of a technology of light, of a profound intelligencing, a sequencing of light codes that are beyond the forms we see in this world. As we receive them as an organic body, we are most closely linked to them if we understand them in the way that we experience the flowers of this world. So an organic and natural blossoming. And it's happening. This has been awakening through us through the last years. You will already have opened and awoken naturally these blossoming stargates of our other dimensional ascended body of light. This diamond lighted design of our interdimensional, our angelical galactic diamond light body has been awakening naturally through the cycles of the sun, the moon, the earth, the stars. Just as the flowers and the trees blossom in the spring, we are very naturally and deeply at the moment blossoming with this light. So as I describe this, it's also, much of this is already awakening within you and has been. So sensing into each one, if you feel the energy of a flower with each one. So I come now to the beginning, and I will endeavor to flow around swiftly. If you imagine our arrival to the diamond core of Earth, our pure diamond light essence arriving to the diamond light of Earth at her core, and then we flow up to a center just above the core of the Earth, to a sapphire starflower, that first energy center, which correlates to the first glyph of the silver wheel. And that is the sapphire starlight waters of the beginning, of an earth that existed in the starlight, the waters under the starlight before the time of the sun and the moon, the pure dreaming of all that earth timelessly is and was and shall become, all in this most beautiful and timeless potentiality, and our soul star arriving to hers and saying, yes, I am part of this dreaming, I am part of this becoming, I bring the light that I am to your worlds. And with these star flowers, what is so beautiful is this becomes the way we ignite and arrive to earth, to this energy center, this star flower of sapphire far beneath our feet. Our body of light is also the body of earth. We are not, as in the chakra system of the last age, we don't start at the root. We start with this deep, also known, I believe, as the Gaia gateway, deep, deep, far, far beneath us. That is how vast your body of light is, with deep, far, far roots connecting to the very, very core of the earth. That is your ascended body of light. You feel that sapphire star flower far beneath your feet. And if you like, it's the calling to Earth's dream, to her pure blueprint of love, of this dimension, her own immortal starlight, timelessness, all of her pure dream and potentiality and becoming. And we rise from there to a star flower of white gold that correlates to this glyph, the second glyph of the silver wheel. And that is still beneath your feet within the earth, but just some way, some inches or feet, I'm never sure about measurements, you'll feel where it is energetically for you. I know for me, I would probably say it feels, it's almost as though a few feet, a couple of feet below me within the earth, a flower of white gold that links you to the diamond stargates of earth. So this is the great ages of the blossoming of her dream, the great eras of creation when her timeless blueprint and dream as held within the sapphire has blossomed and become, when her architectures have risen, have grown, have been built, and when her sacred lands have been alight. And we remember the gold and white diamond stargates of peace. I've spoken of this in the last pod. These are the ancient immortal starlight architectures of earth, and we are so much connecting in with those again now. And they've been alight through the great processional ages of the sunlight, the great diamond suns of earth. So we've entered now the cycles, if you like, of the sun and the moon. We're out of that realm of timelessness, but very much within the pulses of the great cosmic ages of light. And within the white gold starflower, an energy center, inherently within our own body of light, we connect into this. That is our root, our provenance within the earth. That is the earth to which we connect, that we walk, that we ignite, that we remember, and that we return by returning to. And so we are also the creators of, for that. Gosh, I could spiral into infinite depth with all of these teachings. But when we arrive to the sapphire of earth, her timelessness, her blueprint, we bring the light of our home world, of those lands, that realm of light from which our essence flows. And they are seated within the earth, become part of her dreaming, received as we arrive to her in love. And through the eras of the diamond suns, they arise over and over. So in the white golden starflower of the energy center beneath our feet, we also feel the light of our homelands, of our immortal starlight homelands, as they've risen upon the earth age upon age and are arising once more. So it's like an incredible map, a gold and white diamond starlight map of earth that awakens beneath our feet. So rising now to the starflower of rose. Now, let me see, where am I here? And this corresponds to the energy center at our root, at the base of the spine. And here, this is the flame of rose, the starflower of rose. And it is the starflower of our connection to our star cluster, our star kin, those with whom we build, those with whom we are interconnected in the light, through the light of who we truly are, with whom we hold that interconnected soul purpose in the light for the dawn. And through that center of rose at your root, at the base of your spine, you re-establish that rose light of connection to your true kin and kindred. And that is a beautiful reset. It really clears out, because we come for the first time to the body, to the energy centers, to the star flowers that are correspondent with the physical body. And so we begin to clear the record of the last aeon also. So in this center too, as you feel that connection through the immortal starlight, those with whom you hold this pure interconnected purpose in the light, you will be clearing the karmic connections and ties that have bound you into other versions of yourself. So with that flowing up, I'm just being shown, it's as though those, like starships landing, we arrive together, we've come not alone for the dawn. And that will be in human form, elemental form. You'll know when there's a mountain you come to who is one of your star kin here. And the starships really alighting. I just felt that as I moved and flowed through to the next. So we come now to the star flower of silver, which is at your sacral, that center, which is just below the belly button. And that is the star flower of your subtle sentience, your starlight listening to your language of light, that music of the dawn, of your joy, of your true light, that music of your soul star. And our soul star speaks through our feeling body, through our joy, through our happiness, through our states of well-being, lets you know who you are and guides you in the direction of where to become, what to follow through with, what to bring through, where to be. And that incredible guidance system of the music of the soul star that sounds through our feeling body. And correspondingly, when you feel terrible, will let you know when it's not it, when you're off course. But this center really awakening, especially for the dawn in your ascended body of light, to that language of light, that is where it inflows through from into your body, really receiving your language of light through that center. And rising up now from the silver starflower at your sacral to the emerald at your solar plexus, just below your rib cage. And this is a beautiful center point. This is overlit by the wisdom of the trees, the emerald wisdom of the trees. And if you like, you feel at this center how you are a tree of the dawn. That is the center of your great trunk, your roots stretching right to the center of the earth, and your branches reaching to the stars, to the heavens beyond. And that you are that strength, you are that stability for the dawn of the immortal starlight return of all that we truly are, of peace, of balance, of harmony, of interconnection, of that which values and honors life returning. And you are anchored into that by honoring your cosmic purpose, coming into connection with your cosmic purpose for the dawn, remaining deeply, deeply true to the simplicity of that overlighting cosmic purpose for the dawn. And this emerald starflower connects us to the silver grove of the stars that is woven around the earth, long since remembered by the Elven and the Elder Starlight kin. And into that silver grove we can ascend to really realign and discover our cosmic purpose for the dawn. And that cosmic purpose has a certain quality, because it's much more like the wisdom and the way of the tree, the way of the forest, than it is like the human conception of purpose in the last aeon, which has been highly individualistic. That our cosmic purpose exists as that which benefits the whole, as that which exists in interconnected communion with the whole. It's that which we are and shine, and most crucially are for the greatest good, the greatest light of all. It facilitates the greatest becoming for all. And just like the tree rises in that unity with the forest, and as the forest evolves and matures, comes in to that whole sentience of the one. And so in this center, we release smaller, more restricted motivations and desires, purposes derived not from the soul star of that deeper becoming for realms, timelines, worlds, dimensions. So in that center, we really gain the power and the strength, the integrity, the authenticity of that cosmic purpose. So arising to the starflower of ruby, which is at the heart center, the center of the chest. And that is the teaching of the flowers. And this teaching is literally beautiful and of beauty, which is that at the true level of appearance, your being and body of light most closely resembles the flowers, and the beauty of their petaling, their fragrance, their form. And that is the true appearance of your ascended body of light, of its design. And that is our angelical geometry that underpins our presencing, that which is perceived and seen here. So this starflower, if you like, overlights these whole Elven Galactic starflower teachings, because it is the return of our true appearance, our true presence. And that, just like the flower, so much of what you bring for the dawn will be through pure presence, through emitting the pure light codes, tones, fragrance of the one who you are. So I'm always reminded before I sit down to teach or an Elven pod, through every moment of my life, but when it comes to sharing especially, they say, stop worrying about, the content you're going to deliver, the information and so forth. Don't get lost in that. It's to be most first and foremost that pure presencing of your golden, white diamond, elven light codes. And through that, you share the most that you can possibly share. And so, it's that teaching, it's that awareness that through emitting, through emanating, blossoming, just like the flower does through its fragrance, its exquisite colors and tones, we operate in the same way. The level of our ascended body and becoming, that is how we are. That's what we're returning into. Pure essence, pure presence, gifting itself. And we flow from the ruby round to the violet. And this is the higher heart center. So it's somewhere between the physical heart center and ruby starflower, the throat. It's about here. And it's violet, the higher heart. And this is the wisdom of the waters, that just as the waters of earth, the great lakes only remain full through both the upwelling of the springs, the filling and receiving from the rivers, the streams, the springs that feed into them, but also through that outflow, through the rivers which flow from them down to the sea. And they remain clear and full when those flows of receiving and giving are in balance. And our presencing is exactly the same for the dawn at this level of light that we are moving into, at this higher dimensional octave of expression, that we are always in the flow of giving and receiving. That is how light exists at this level, at the universal level. And that you need to as deeply receive, return into the mystery, the source, the home light of the one who you are, to receive and deeply go beyond the veils, go home, drink the mystery of the pure essence that you are, go into that stillness, that mystery, that beauty that you long to return into. Make sure there is time and space for that within your existence, so that you may as deeply and fully gift that. And at that threshold also to be aware not to hold back, not to conceal, not to overprotect. It is not the time for that. It's the time for us to give. And in this way, existence is brought into balance for one and for all, as we each one learn this balance, learn both not to limit how much of our own energy we'll allow ourselves to receive, but also not to overprotect and conceal and hold back from others the true light of who we are. And so as each one of us restores this ecosystem, eco-dynamic balance within ourselves, the whole is brought back into balance. So this is the angelic or higher heart. And then we come to the throat, and this is the flower of aquamarine. And again, it's very interesting because I do believe this is a center where we still hold back so much on the basis of believing we're not enough. I know there are so many way showers of dawn holding so much wisdom, elder starlight kin, wisdom bearers, record keepers at a threshold now, so in connection. And yes, it may ebb and flow in and out of awareness, but with a very real awareness within of what we have to share, and that there is still a tidal wave of that to come for us to share all that we truly hold for the dawn and for the return. And so this center really orients around this energy of knowing you are enough in your light, in your pure essence. Again, as I say, when I come to share, always being reminded that my elven light, that golden white diamond source light of my own I am presence is enough. Starting with that, starting there and letting it flow from there, that your pure essence is all that Earth calls for, and to heal, to move beyond the idea that this is not enough. She longs for that, for you to arrive as who you are, and in so doing also to unleash your fears of three-dimensional reality, of the harshness of a world that may reverberate, harshly back upon you if you bring your pure essence here. That we are asked to remember in this center Earth's interdimensional and infinite nature, to unleash the three-dimensional bonds we've placed upon her and projections, and to perceive once more her own infinite nature, and to arrive to her, and that she exists as starlight song, as pure vibration, as that which emanates from source. She is not primarily a physical, limited and concrete reality. And when that alignment happens through the throat center to the pure interdimensional and infinite nature of Earth, and of the simplicity of the essence of our arrival to her, that the song of our being is freed, the song of our true speech to be spoken, to arrive through her worlds. And what happens is, this is so linked to abundance, to the miraculous of the physical, that the physical reality and plane is able to respond to us, the physical dimensionality of Earth, at its frequency of the infinite, of the miraculous, and we are met a thousandfold. Earth longs to meet us if we will only sound the true song of who we are through her worlds, to allow ourselves to be spoken into existence. And so the hold back here links to so much within our realities, individual and collective. It's such a powerful center. So this, the starflower of aquamarine, and I could say more, just stopping myself there and flowing on to the starflower of magenta, which is at the brow. And this reflects the nature of true thought. Our ascended body of light relates to the mind, to the brain in quite a different way. And it's really the teaching that your mind at its ascended level does not configure itself from solidified, concretized, calcified pathways of conceptualization and thought. It actually becomes as though liquid once more, and absolutely receptive to the light of the infinite as it emanates from mystery, that first and elder light of first pure thought, vibration, reality, emergent from source. And when we come back into the state of first light, true thought, and our mind synchronizes back into this way, what happens is we stop searching around these concretized highways of what is known in order to draw our thought from them. And we find that we are existing in a state where it's almost as though we are thinking nothing. There is only the pure arising of the light form of direct gnosis, knowing within the energetical void of mystery, of the unknown, of the unknowable, but as a known, if you like, as a state felt and in relation to, not the sort of fog of the unknown, not a sense of unclarity, but in the clear gnosis and relation of mystery within the self. And within that, the thoughts that rest as though lightly aglow effortlessly, the knowing. And those thoughts, that true thought as first light, has a quality of peace and infinite spaciousness. One has no dogmatic hold upon it or attachment. There is no propulsion and compulsion to try and attach it to other thoughts and understandings to make a system out of it. There is no pressure to resolve or get away from the mystery within that state of that knowing. There is rather a rather blissful sentience of how beautiful this apparition of my sentient consciousness, and how much one simultaneously treasures the mystery from which that emanates and the adventure of that mystery. And so there is this really, really beautiful energy to this magenta starflower of our true mind, our true thought awakening. It's very peaceful, as well as, I say, with a great sense of adventure simultaneously. If I was to ground that description into an archetype, it's the joy of the explorer, really, the explorer of, say, the great philosopher who is not tortured by trying to create a system of complete knowing, but rather is in the very deep and joyful adventure of true thought emergent within the self as they exist within reality, moment to moment. And it's known as a very beautiful state of discovering true knowing within the self. And yeah, the sense of that in a way is an infinite adventure, one without beginning and without end. So yeah, really, really beautiful, this recalibration within the mind. Again, it's our natural state. That's our natural state. When we're at peace, when we are in alignment with ourselves, I'm simply describing some of the qualities of what naturally takes place. So anyway, I could go on again infinitely with each one. I'll flow on now through to the gold. And that is at the crown, the gold starflower. And this is the flower, the starflower, the energy center of our golden, cosmic, divine imagination and dreaming mind. That we are remembering ourselves once more as sovereign source creators, dreaming reality into being, one with the heart of creation, and in accordance with our bliss, our love, our joy, dreaming reality into being. This is the cosmic and sacred imagination as a portal to reality. And at this center, we really come to trust ourselves again. We stop feeling that someone else knows better, waiting for someone else to give us the authoritative account of reality. We are in our sovereignty of our own relationship to source, to the mystery of all that is. We know ourselves as a direct connection to source and all that is. We unleash the overlays of the spiritual systems, of the gurus, of the secular or spiritual authorities we have handed over our power to, deemed more able to interpret and be closer to the true nature of reality than ourselves. All of that unbinds with the awakening of the golden starflower at our crowns. And there is this rapturous, direct connection to Source and a trust in ourselves as a conduit of that pure connection and knowing. And more than that, as the star creator, the dreamer, dreaming through as Source, as God, as that heart of creation. And this can only take place, just to say one more word about that gold star flower. Part of the quality of this is of non-dual mind. We go beyond these very harsh judgments of right, of wrong, of good, of evil, of light, of dark. That ruptured consciousness that is unable to feel the deeper wisdom light of the One. That deeper wisdom light that actually perceives the true nature of all occurrence beyond duality, that sees the bigger picture, that understands the true significance of things. That is our natural state of mind, not the state of duality and judgment, but a much more profound, enlightened discernment of what is truly an occurrence. And for many of ourselves, that is so natural within us, but to dare to follow through honor, speak that, actually represent that, is still a great becoming and a step in our ascension. And more and more and more we are claiming that first and foremost within ourselves, and then able to represent, to bring forward that perspective, that knowing. And so we come now to the starflower of, where am I flowing to now? To peach. And this is behind our heads, also I think by some known as the causal chakra. And it glows here, a peach starflower energy center. And this holds our Akashic record, if you like, the records of higher dimensional existence, of higher civilizations, our ancient record. And this is very beautiful because there are a lot of skills and gifts and abilities held here that we've been out of connection with through the last age, and that are firing back through us, through our neural pathways, returning back through us. And we find ourselves able to do things suddenly that we had no idea we can do, and yet they're so deeply known to us. We're accomplished in these as these gifts, skills, abilities, knowings return to us. So this center is very much awakening in the now for so many of us, returning gifts that are pivotal skills and abilities that are incredible tools for our ascension, needed to form the bridge into our immortal starlight return. So for me, for example, it's been with the shamanic way of the drum as one example of ancient lifetimes of that wisdom and that way returning through. And there are other layers within my Akashic and multidimensional record, but that's one that has been very strong. So, and it's just been amazing to receive that aspect of my avatar presence literally powering through as though remembered yesterday or today. So flowing up now, flowing up to the starflower of pearl, which is just a few inches above the head. And this is where the interdimensional orbs of your future self, of the future as held within your starlight existences, as formed within your interdimensional non-linear self, exist and begin to reconnect here. For this corresponds to the pearl starflower, is to this radical leap we are making into the new ascended body of light, into an age that is in many ways already dreamt, already created, its architecture already dreamt amongst the stars by future aspects of ourselves. And that is how we make this radical leap. We make not just gradual leaps at this time, but quantum leaps, radical leaps. And that is because we are not just in a sequencing that is linear, that is going from A to B to C to D, as it were. We are actually downloading aspects that maybe, if we go way ahead in the alphabet, what would it be? An X or a Y, that downloads from that pearl starflower into the now. And we make the quantum leap activation of that future self in the now. So that pearlescent flower, that white pearlescent that holds the rainbow codes of the future age, Elashima, that we are downloading into the now. That's why so many of us feel that we are literally the future walking upon this earth in the now. And that is because we've activated that higher connection to the pearl starflower. And for many of us, that we may have had that activated long before some of the others. And we've actually come in with that. I know for myself, in the early part of my life, I resided very much up here and was strong in those centers. And it's taken longer to move through the rest of the ascended body activation and arrival and return of my own immortal starlight. So yeah, this pearl starflower above our head, and flowing up now to the final one. So sorry, that was this glyph. Did I point to the last two glyphs? So I think I went in the wrong direction for the last, did I? So forgive me. So this one is the gold. This one is the peach. And this one, so that's the one behind the head, the peach with the Akashic record. This is the pearl of the future self. And this final one, which unites them all, the one in the center, which is the circle with the diamond woven within it, is the final and 13th glyph of the diamond starflower above the pearl, some inches above the pearl, just feeling where that is for you. And this is where it gets really exciting. This is where all that I've spoken of becomes deeply translucent to the light codes of your home world, of all that you are, of the unique diamond light body and DNA that you are bringing here for the dawn, seeding here. And so with the diamond starflower, the stellar gateway opens. Yes, to the star worlds beyond that we belong to, that we have resided in the light, but more significantly into that angelic and immortal starlight, that first and that elder light of the one who you are in source. And we go all the way home into that first light, that pure, immortal starlight, diamond light of the one who you are. And what is really interesting is that within this diamond starflower, you come into connection with the parallel and ascended galaxy, universe, world of light, where you have already completed into your diamond light codes. You've already completed the return, the ascension. For, as far as I can tell, for those of us who are here as wayshowers of the dawn, we carry already realized ascension codes to Earth at this time. We've done this before. We've walked this complete walk from forgetfulness to remembrance before. We carry realized white diamond ascension codes within us. And so we understand somewhere within us this full transit of return. Not just that pure light of source before and beyond all things, but the wisdom, if you like, the diamond light wisdom of experience. And that's what I think of as our elder light, of the elders of dawn, the white starlight elders of dawn, who carry, if you like, the wisdom staffs of ascension arriving in this world. And so that diamond starflower holds both that pure immortal starlight, source light, of that angelical celestial self, ever of that one. Also the interwoven light of your home world, which I express as that ascended universe of light, galaxy, star, sun of light, where you have fully returned. And that therefore is imprinted most deeply with the energy of home, if you like. It's the realized energy of home, of deepest belonging, of source essence, but realized through complete expression, lived through all layers, become. And so I see these as the white diamond galaxies and parallel universes of light. They've already completed into the light. And then there's another interesting layer to this diamond star flower, just one last to mention as we complete, that diamond source light of your angelic celestial presence is that one place from where you can feel the full star map of your being through worlds, timelines, dimensions. From there, you can feel the non-karmic, the existences of light through all galaxy star systems that you've experienced, which is what I call your star map. And just like the intelligence of these very designs was partly created as it descended from pure source, has also received layers of its beautiful design and intelligence through star systems and galaxies, so too your being has arrived in sequencing of layers through star worlds, galaxies. And it's from within that diamond source angelical light that we can experience all of that at its purest level and receive the gifts of that at its purest level. So for myself, for instance, that's where Corona Borealis, Andromeda, Venus, and so forth all shine in this interdimensional simultaneity of the soul gifts through those star systems and worlds that I bring for the dawn. And so that's the layer of the diamond starflower as we come back to the earth. So if you imagine you've gone all the way up to the diamond starflower above your head, it gives you access to that pure immortal starlight and that diamond light of your home world. And cascading back down through, you come back down through the star systems to which you belong, to which you hold resonance, affinity in the light, descending back down through the starflower at your crown, above your crown, the diamond light, through the pearl starflower above your head, down through, cascading back through the peach, through the gold. And as you're coming back through these centers, what is occurring is your diamond light codes, pure star DNA of your home world, is actually alighting through all of these centers, igniting, irradiating, illuminating as it pours back through, coming down through the golden crown, magenta brow, the aquamarine at the throat, the violet of the higher heart, the ruby of the heart, the emerald of the solar plexus, that silver of the sacral, that rose of the root, that diamond light, pure source codes weaving themselves back down through these centers. They resonate at a frequency, a vibration of such purity that they can transduce, carry the pure diamond light of the one who you are. Like flowers receiving that radiance of purest sunlight, coming back down through, and down through from the rose to that white gold beneath your feet within the earth, and down to that sapphire starflower far, far below, just above the core of the earth. And then your pure diamond homeworld essence twining back down to the core, the diamond core of earth. And from there, in a beautiful toroidal wave, spiraling back through and going out, forming that diamond aura of your angelic wings and pure presence here. And this is the final thing I'd love to share, that as that happens, your pure avatar presence is arriving here, but you can feel how grounded that arrival. You have the pure elemental codes of immortal starlight that match with the immortal starlight frequency of your avatar essence. No more split between heaven and earth, but these lighted architectures of the one through all, woven and so profoundly grounded and as far out as your being goes. And so your pure avatar presence presencing here through this weave, but also as your avatar presence arrives, so too is seeded that pure light of your home world, resonating, brought, star-seeded at one with earth, and your homelands rising once more as the immortal starlight lands of this diamond sun of Elashima, of the age that is come. And so through this this great vertical axis, much of our return is accomplished and establishes itself therefore on the horizontal plane. Literally the star seeding of who we are, and the land, the dimension of Earth recreated through our presencing. So I will finish there. I will complete there. For those who've watched the video, you've seen the glyphs. If you've just been listening, you might want to watch back so you can see the glyphs I was pointing to as I went along, if you feel called to do so. And I do really, my prayer with sharing this at this time is that it's a real benefit to you as we explore this beautiful moon, which is the energy of celebrating the new diamond, golden, braided reality that is physicalizing right now. It is done. We completed it through the summer solstice, through the June solstice. It is complete. It's here. It is only for us now to celebrate, to experiment with the joy, the gratitude, the grace of being here and experiencing this. And while I say that it's quite spacey in some ways, while I say physical, it's quite spacey because there's none of the old physical. So for the residues of old consciousness, there's a lot of spaciness because what it was connecting with is gone. And yet what is here is very tangible in a wholly new way. And so I really pray, my prayer for this transmission is it really helps you to connect in with that profound new diamond light braided reality of the immortal starlight earth, that we are truly walking as never before, and that expression within your own reality. So much love for this pod 32, the Elven Galactic Starflower teachings, and I so look forward to connecting with you next time. Tanara Thiratian Arathian. May our immortal starlight wisdom flow and flow, return upon return, so much still to come, to be gifted, to be received through and by each one. Kaya Sarathiana. And may this pod be a place where the great murmuring realms of our wisdom, our love, flow through, be configured, blossom mightily, majestically for the dawn. Arathian Tera. So it is done. Farewell for now.